So why did he need a black director? Could a white director not have?
It's not color, it's culture.
Denzel Washington just called out Hollywood's woke culture, and the industry is losing it. He's saying what many are thinking but afraid to say. Here's why his words are causing such a stir. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Hold up, you think you know what diversity in Hollywood looks like? Think again. Denzel's latest comments aren't just stirring the pot, they're serving up a whole new recipe for authentic storytelling. What he said next left even the biggest names in the industry speechless. Denzel's not pulling any punches when it comes to Hollywood's approach to diversity. While the industry's been patting itself on the back, Denzel's calling them out on their game. He's saying that just casting diverse actors or hiring diverse directors isn't cutting it. It's like trying to win a championship with all-star players who don't know how to play as a team.
Relationships. You're white or whatever you are, I'm black or whatever I am. We're standing here talking now. That's how we get things done. You can't legislate love. The President of the United States can't legislate us into liking.
Here's the kicker. Denzel's asking the tough questions that no one else dares to. He's challenging the whole notion that simply hiring diverse talent is enough. He's saying, what's the point of casting a black actor or hiring a black director if they don't understand the culture they're portraying? It's like putting a player on the court who's never touched a basketball before. Sure, they might look the part, but can they play the game? But Denzel's not just pointing out problems, he's laying down a challenge. He's saying it's not about color, it's about culture. It's about understanding the story you're telling from the inside out. It's like knowing every play in the playbook, not just wearing the team jersey. And let me tell you, this isn't just some small-time critique. Denzel's words are causing a tsunami in how we think about storytelling. He's saying that Hollywood's more interested in ticking boxes than telling real, culturally rich stories.
Turn it off. That's what I would say. It's hard for young people now because they're hooked. They're addicted. If you don't think you're addicted, and I'm talking about anyone, from the highest to the lowest, if you don't think you're addicted, then see if you can turn it off.
It's like they're more focused on the flashy dunks than winning the game. Denzel's warning that this surface level approach isn't just misguided, it's dangerous. It's like running a play without knowing your teammates' strengths. You might look good for a second, but you're not going to win the game. He's saying that without understanding the culture behind a story, you're not just missing the mark, you're potentially doing harm. This isn't just about movies anymore. It's about how we see ourselves, how we tell our stories. Denzel's pushing for a shift from just representation to meaningful storytelling that respects and captures the essence of the cultures being portrayed. It's like moving from highlight reels to in-depth game analysis. And guess what? People are listening. From big shot producers to up-and-coming actors, everyone's talking about Denzel's take. It's sparking conversations about what authentic representation really means. It's like when a star player calls out the league. Suddenly, everyone's paying attention. But here's the thing, Denzel's not just criticizing, he's lighting the way for real change. He's challenging Hollywood to dig deeper, to understand the cultures they're portraying, to tell stories that resonate on a deeper level. It's like he's coaching the whole industry, pushing them to play a better game. I think Hollywood's all about progress. Denzel's got news for you, and it's not pretty. The industry's been shouting about diversity from the rooftops, but Denzel Washington's calling their bluff. He's not just pointing fingers, he's exposing the cracks in Hollywood's woke facade. You've seen the headlines about inclusion and representation, right? Well, Denzel's saying it's not enough. He's warning us that this surface level approach isn't just missing the mark, it's potentially harmful. It's like Hollywood's more interested in ticking boxes than telling real, culturally rich stories. But here's where it gets real. Denzel's not just talking about casting choices, he's tackling a bigger beast, cancel culture. You might be wondering, what's that got to do with diversity? Everything, according to Denzel. He's saying, we live in a society now where it's just first who cares, get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. That's heavy, right? Denzel's pointing out that this rush to judgment, this quick trigger cancel culture, is killing real conversations. It's not just about movies anymore. It's about how we talk to each other, how we handle different opinions. Denzel's warning that we're creating an environment where people are afraid to speak up. afraid to have real dialogues. But wait, there's more. Denzel's not just criticizing, he's offering a solution. He's saying we need to stop being so quick to cancel people who make mistakes or hold different opinions. It's like he's calling for a timeout in this game of gotcha that Hollywood's been playing. And he's not stopping there. Denzel's taking aim at the heart of storytelling itself. He's calling out the industry for focusing on scandals and cheap drama instead of lifting people up and telling honest, meaningful stories. It's like he's asking, what's the point of all this diversity if we're not using it to tell stories that matter? You might be thinking, okay, but what does this mean for me? Well, it's changing the game. Denzel's push for authenticity is shaking up how stories are told, how cultures are represented on screen. He's not just talking about putting diverse faces in front of the camera. He's talking about understanding the culture, the history, the heart of the stories being told. Take Fences, for example. Denzel points to moments in that film where real human stories take center stage. No cheap tricks, no sensationalism, just raw, honest storytelling that respects the culture it's portraying. That's what Denzel's fighting for, and people are listening. From big shot producers to up-and-coming actors, everyone's talking about Denzel's take. It's sparking conversations about what authentic representation really means. It's like when a star player calls out the league, suddenly everyone's paying attention. Denzel's words are echoing through Tinseltown, but the real story, it's what happens next. This isn't just Denzel versus Hollywood. It's a battle for the soul of storytelling itself. And guess what? You're right in the middle of it. You might be wondering, why does this matter to me? Well, think about it. Every movie you watch, every show you binge, it's all shaped by this battle. It's about who gets to tell our stories and how they're told. And Denzel, he's fighting for authenticity. But here's the kicker. Not everyone's on board. Some are calling Denzel brave for speaking out. Others, they're saying he's being too negative. It's like a real-life drama unfolding behind the scenes, and it's got the whole industry talking. Denzel's not just pointing fingers though, he's got a plan. He's taking aim at cancel culture, saying, we live in a society now where it's just first who cares get it out there. We don't care if it's true, just say it. He's worried that this rush to judgment is killing real conversations. It's not just about movies anymore. It's about how we talk to each other, how we handle different opinions. But wait, there's more. Denzel's not just criticizing, he's offering a solution. He's saying we need to stop being so quick to cancel people who make mistakes or hold different opinions. It's like he's calling for a timeout in this game of gotcha that Hollywood's been playing. And he's not stopping there. Denzel's taking his fight to the next level. He's committed to mentoring the next generation of filmmakers and actors. In his own words, I'm going to make sure that there's hundreds of roles for the next generation and utilize the power that I have at this moment. That's huge. He's not just talking about change, he's making it happen. This isn't just about diversity for diversity's sake. Denzel's pushing for something deeper. He wants stories that really get culture, that respect it. He's saying it's not enough to just cast diverse actors or hire diverse directors. You need to understand the story from the inside out. And you know what? This affects you. Every time you turn on your TV or hit the movie theater, you're part of this conversation. Denzel's fight is changing the game, shaping the stories you'll be watching for years to come. But here's where it gets real. Denzel's perspective on the political divide in Hollywood is stirring things up even more. He's worried that the industry's left-leaning bias is pushing out conservative voices, and he thinks that's bad for storytelling. It's like trying to play a game with only half the players. So what does this mean for you? It means the stories you see are changing. It means you might start seeing different voices, different perspectives. It's not just about who's on screen anymore. It's about the stories being told, the cultures being represented. And let's be real, this isn't just Denzel versus Hollywood. It's truth versus trends, substance versus style. It's about whether we want our entertainment to just look good on the surface, or if we want it to mean something deeper. Denzel's fight isn't just shaking up Hollywood, it's changing how we think about storytelling itself. He's pushing for stories that don't just check boxes, but really understand and respect the cultures they're portraying. It's like he's trying to turn highlight reels into in-depth game analysis.